The Browns made some moves today. They pick up the fifth-year options on both Myles-Garrett and David-Njoku. Not surprised about Garrett, but Njoku, they seem to be drafting around him or signing around him. Tell me what you thought, what their thought is on Njoku, who I think was going to be a kind of a secret surprise because he wasn't Stefanski's guy and could have made some headway.
Yeah, it's been interesting, Les. I've been really puzzled by the way people have kind of jumped off the Njoku bandwagon, if there ever really was a bandwagon. But obviously, he was a very productive player 2 years ago in Baker Mayfield's rookie season. And then last year, obviously, he breaks his wrist in the second or third game, whatever it was, against the Jets, misses 10 games. He's had a problem with drops. We've talked about that, but he's still a young player. And I mean, really young as well. I mean, he was, I think 20 years old when he was drafted by the Browns. So he's shown some production. Clearly Kevin Stefanski loves himself some tight ends. And he said the other day, the more the merrier. So, with Hooper and now Harrison-Bryant and then David-Njoku, you've really got some depth at that position.
All right, so help me out on this. Is part of that because they're concerned about the health of their wide receivers in Beckham and Landry? Or do you think if they were concerned about that, they'd go for that position rather than fill up on the others somewhere else?
Yeah, I think more the latter, Les. I do. I don't think that they're necessarily worried about. Obviously, you're always going to worry about injuries, but I think they're pretty convinced that both Landry and Beckham are going to come back much healthier this year. They both were dealing with a lot last year, and we didn't find out about a lot of that until very late in the season. So I think it's just more about Stefanski and the kind of scheme that he likes to run, and he really likes to utilize that tight end. He doesn't necessarily have a slot receiver per se. He tends to put his tight ends in that kind of position. So, yeah, I think they were good picks. I like this Harrison-Bryant kid. The more that I've heard about him, the kid from Florida Atlantic, the John Mackey Award winner last year. He also has some background as an offensive lineman in high school, so he knows how to block, and clearly he knows how to make plays.
I think the Browns can save a lot of money on their scouting expenses. Just get us a season's pass to the SEC games.
No kidding. I guess that was around the league, though, Les. I've always been of the mind that when you're on the clock and there's ever a doubt, you go for either the best Alabama or best SEC player available.
You're a traitor. What happened to Ohio State? Come on.
I'm still a proud Buckeye, but you can't go wrong with those SEC boys.